boys.
Right.
Yeah, around, and they were.
So you were talking about your aunt that you owe a debt of gratitude to, who
Yes.
helped you identify your father because she knew who it was.
Yes, she decided that she was going to take me to meet my father, and I didn't know anything about it. And it was arranged with this lady called Miss Hartel, a singular lady, with Miss Hartel. She would be carrying me, and I got the permission of my mother to go with her to Kingston, but that was for Kingston, not
Right,
to. She didn't know of the
your
plan.
adventure.
Exactly. And the whole thing is that I went up, and Aunt Gurley met me at the Coronation Market, taking a taxi and the tram car that was running there in Kingston, and took me to this place. And she had gone there and spoke with my father and told him.
And she was taking you.
Yes, but he didn't know that he had a son.
So you were 14 at this time.
I was 14 at that time.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was it was out of the world experience. I mean, I didn't know that I was going to meet my father, so that was a surprise. When I saw that man, I didn't know that he was going to be my father. I just thought it was somebody that I'm going to meet, that my aunt knew, and so on. So I went to meet him, and great big house, and he's a chiropractor. And it was there that I saw and heard telephone for the first time. I was 14, but yeah, telephone.
So how were you received by him?
Well, I was received with a sort of a curiosity. Now listen, he didn't know about me.
Right.
And something happened between him and my mother. A one-off thing.
Right, they had a fling. And
that fling.
She went her way.
She knew she was pregnant. She didn't tell him. She just left under pretense that her mother wanted her back home or whatever, and she left. And he didn't follow up on anything, and nobody told him.
So was she working for him?
Yes.
Oh, so
she was his office mate.
So that was part of, like, maybe the shame of getting pregnant for him. So
right.
It's easier to just head back to country.
Exactly. And the policy in those communities at those days, you know, you're looked down upon if you get pregnant like that, especially for a married man.
Right.
Those were not no thing. The morality and the standard of living and expectation in those rural communities were high, and so it was a shamefulness, and that's why she kept things secretly, secretively, and so. But the whole thing is that my father asked me a number of questions. I didn't know he was my father. I thought, well, somebody's going to help me.
Right.
And one of the things that he asked me about is what I would like to do. And I said, I'd like to get to a secondary school. You know, that was the only thing I wanted, to go to a secondary school. And so on. And he said, where? And I said, I don't know any secondary school, but I'd love to go to Kingston. I want to go to Kingston, to a secondary school, and so on. And he asked me a number of questions, how I was doing in school, what I liked to do. I didn't know if I knew what I wanted to do, except go to secondary school.
Right.
But what I didn't know is that what I do know, when I left there with a lot of books. He gave me books. A lot of Shakespeare books, a lot of things, and he told me to write him, and so on. So when I got back, you know, I told my mother. She was terrified. She didn't know.
Right. But
Up to that point, I did not know. When I came back.
Oh, so this was just somebody you
It was just somebody
asking questions.
Because the generosity of people at that time was to help the unfortunate. People were kind-hearted. Those with means will go all out. They would adopt children and send them off to apprentice, you know, and so on and so on. several of them sent people to England, sponsored them to England and so on. So the idea of helping was a part of the...
So you just been a kind person.
I've just met a kind gentleman
who might help.
who live in a big house, who had telephone, who
gave you books.
And gave me books.
To further your passion for
and
reading.
gave me money. I didn't get the money, my aunt got the money. and I got books, and I was to write him regularly, which I did. It was after I came back and the dust was settled that Miss Hartel, the Higgler, told me that that was my father and that he was a doctor. And
what kind of emotion were you feeling then when she said that to you?
Well, what could you feel? But you know, that something has happened. You know, everybody else around there had their father except me. All the people around in Morningside and that was in this because whether they were married or not, they lived together and the family was a family intact. So everybody talk about their father. Everybody had their father. We all know their father. But I was one person who my only father was my grandfather. You know.